Today we're going to talk about foam rolling to help prevent injuries. The foam rolling can be done either before a workout or after a workout. The first one we're going to be doing is your upper back. We're going to be lying down, placing it about midway into your rib cage. We're just going to take it, cross your arms in front, and just roll up and down. You want to take the upper back in segments, first starting up high, and then progressing a little bit lower. Now in order to get in between the shoulder blades, you can actually reach up and roll in between. Then what you can do is roll to one side, then the other side to get the paraspinal muscles on either side. Then we're going to progress down, lower it down a little bit, but not your low back area. Again, taking your back in segments. You want to roll about 30 seconds each segment. If you reach a sore spot, what you want to do is stop and pause 5 to 10 seconds. We want to help decrease the hot spots, or what we call trigger points. For the low back, there's two techniques. You take two foam rollers, put it together. One just on your low back, one a little bit higher. What we're going to do is just roll up and down. This way you're more supportive. Otherwise there's a lot of strain on your low back area. And again, to one side and the other. If you do not have two foam rollers, you can take one away. If you want to support yourself on your elbows, so it takes pressure off the low back, but still be able to work the low back area. Foam rolling the gluteal areas. First one, what we're going to do is just gently up and down. Up to your low back, down to your sit bones. Rolling back and forth. And what we're going to do is cross one leg over. Get your posture up a little higher. You're going to rotate to that side. This way it works the more lateral gluteal muscles and deeper in the butt, the piriformis muscle. First one side, then we switch, roll back and forth, tilt, and actually do like a semicircle in order to get all the areas. The piriformis muscle, which is deep in the butt, can cause a lot of problems when you got weak core muscles and gluteal muscles for runners. Next we have the hamstring regions, which comes from your sit bone down to below the knee. What we're going to do is take each leg together first. You're going to take it halfway, roll. And for those that are tall, you may want to break it down in sections of 3. We're going to do it in sections of 2 here. Then we're going to roll down into the lower section, but not onto your knee, just below the knee, just above the knee. Now since the hamstrings have 3 parts, what we're going to do now is rotate the legs out to concentrate more on the one aspect of the hamstrings, rolling up and down. And then we're going to rotate your toes in. If you reach a hot spot, you're just going to hold it there and then continue rolling. 30 seconds each area. Next is the calf region, which extends from below the knee down to the heel bone. We're going to start with the upper section, just rolling back and forth. And then slowly progress down to the lower section. And as we roll back to the upper section, we're going to roll our toes in to work the inside of the calf muscle. Then we're going to roll our toes out, work the outer part of the calf muscle. Next we have the IT band, which is a broad connective tissue on the outside of the thigh, extending from the hip down to just below the knee. This area is very sensitive using the foam roller. The bottom leg is straight, the top leg is bent. We're just going to take the upper part, roll it up and down, and this is where you're going to get a lot of hot spots in the ITB. And when it's tight, with a lot of trigger points, you can actually get a lot of knee pain, which will affect the runners. We're going to roll first the upper part, then we'll come down the lower part. When we reach just above the knee, what we're going to do is just bend and straighten the knee just a little bit, and that will give a cross friction massage to the ligament as it crosses the knee joint. What I also like to do is just roll slightly in a prone position to work the lateral quadricep region as well. The quadricep region involves 4 muscles forming the front of the thigh region. First we're going to start in the upper part. We're just going to roll back and forth. Then we're going to come down to the lower part to just above the knee. You don't want to roll onto the knee joint itself. Now to get the medial and lateral aspects of the quadriceps, we're going to roll the toe first out. Continue to roll. And then we're going to roll the toes in and continue to roll. Now to increase intensity, cross one leg on top of one another, just like the hamstrings and the calves. So you can focus more on just the one quad over the other quad. And switch. Holding if you reach any hot spots, 5 to 10 seconds. Otherwise, each region, 30 seconds or so. Next we have the shin area. You're just going to roll your toes. You want to get to the muscle belly just on the outside of the front shin bone. You could do it with both legs together, or you could just do one at a time for better focus, especially if one leg is more sore than the other. Again, spend about 30 seconds on each area. Go a little bit longer if needed. Our next focus is on the hip flexors, which is just on the inside of the bone that you feel here. Now I like to do the little softer density and a 4-inch instead of a 6-inch roller, but you can use either one. You're going to be using the corner of it to dig into the hip flexor area. Get down into a lying lunge position, and from here you're just going to roll up and down. First on one side, switch, onto the other side. Next, especially important for the throwers, is latissimus dorsi, working out the trigger points. So you'll be on your side, the bottom arm extended out, and you're just going to roll. And normally with throwers, you're going to find a lot of hot spots. First on one side. And then the other side. Spend 30 seconds. Holding for hot spots, 5 to 10 seconds as needed. The next area is the hip adductors, which is on the inside of your upper thigh. Again, I like to use a smaller foam roller. You're going to bring the affected side up. First you're going to start rolling from mid down to the knee. And then you're going to roll it slowly up till you hit the groin area. Holding for any hot spots. First one side. Then the other side. Just taking it segment at a time. The hip adductors is a big muscle. And you may again find some hot spots, especially the hurdlers. is the pectoral region. You're actually just going to be rolling from this section to this section here. So you'll be laying face down to expose this section right here. Good. First you do one side, and again it's a small movement. For him it's easier with a 4-inch roller. This one's a little firmer than the black one. Let me position a little bit better for you. There you go. Roll out. It doesn't work the pec major, it's more the pec minor that we're working at this point. And good. Next we're going to work the bottom of the foot, plantar fascia area. A lot of runners have this problem. We're going to just go from the ball of the foot back to the calcaneus, which is the big heel bone. You can either use a foam roller, tennis ball, a small ball, or I like my spike ball. From here, you're just going to roll. Now, as with the foam roller, it'll be forward and back, but with the balls, you can get circles one way, circles the other way, and you can really dig in deep and feel some really good hot spots in there. We have other areas specific for the throwers that we have trouble with. What we do is we take a tennis ball, put it in a tube sock, and the reason why it's in a tube sock is so that the ball doesn't keep dropping every time you change position or movement. First we're going to do in between the shoulder blade here. And what he can do from here is just bring his arm just over just a little bit. And he's just going to roll and get in between the shoulder blade. Then what he's going to do is move over to the shoulder area, which can get overuse by continuous throwing. You can work the lateral deltoid as well as the posterior deltoid, and you just kind of roll it around till you find an area that's sore. Then what we do is take a regular tennis ball, and what he's going to do is massage his pec area, pec minor area. Again, another area that can be quite overused with throwing. As well as your bicep area, right here. Another area, get a lot of active trigger points from extending the arm back, say with the discus throw. Now, when we're on the road, of course, bring the 36-inch rollers. It'll be a little bit inconvenient. So, there's several choices that you have. This foam roller is 18 inches, which can fit in the bigger duffel bags. We have the stick, which can be used for several areas, such as the quadricep, hamstring, and calf, as well as the shin. We have your tennis ball, and then we have your tennis ball in the sock.